Hello guys, welcome back to runout.tv. It's Mal here, and we're going to look at some recruiting strategies today. What I want to do is first of all show you guys how I do recruiting in between the matches. I'm not going to do a recruiting video every single time I play a game. Obviously we're up to game 3, we've got 1-1 for the season. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I do recruiting now. Obviously that's going to be ongoing throughout the season, and then maybe at the end of the season or towards the end of the season I'll show you guys how I'm doing when I'm starting to pick up a few recruits and get a few confirmations and scheduling a few visits and see how we progress. Now obviously we have 30 targets with 6,500 points to allocate. I'm going to go to left first, and we're just going to have a look at team needs. Now the team needs that we have are wide receiver, free safety, short safety, kickers, punters, and a centre. Or was it a corner? Not sure whether I look great on these. So we're just going to have a look at these guys first. Now as you can see, we're going after the good recruits, guys. We want good, solid recruits. We want to get people who are going to come through the program. I'm really looking forward to doing videos for a long time and eventually starting to see these players come through into our starting lineup, maybe even from next season for a few of them. So we've got a 330 bonus. Now that bonus goes on, if we just check our one, the bonus looks at conference prestige, proximity to home, program tradition, pipeline state, and obviously the bonus points are added on to anything that we're already putting on, so that helps us out. And I think the style of play as well, especially when the visit, has a big influence on what happens. So we're 360 behind Michigan, so we need to put a few points on this guy. So what I normally do is put enough points on so we get like a nice round number. So that's obviously 600 points going on to Greg Hill. So moving on to the safety, we are close to this guy. He's a 4-star recruit. He's a hard hitter. So he's definitely the type of guy that we want in our program. So I'm going to put the max on there. Now I've got 550 to spend. So that's a massive, let's take it down to 530. So that's a huge sort of 800 points going on Tyler Townsend. So he's really going to get recruited hard this week. We're in the lead by 95. Again, it's a free safety. Not quite as good as Tyler Townsend. We still want him, so I'm going to put 235 onto this guy, just to bring that up to 500 points. So we don't want to recruit too many of the same type of player, but we just want to bear in mind what's going on. Now this guy, we're in the lead again, 330 bonus. So this short safety is a guy we could do with getting on our program. So I'm going to put 370 points onto this guy. Just check that I've offered a scholarship, because that costs 50 points to do that, so you've got to make sure you do that as well. Now in the lead by a massive amount here for the wide receiver, Jelani Pickens. So we probably don't need to put that much on this guy, but certainly 230, given he's a team need. Let's put 230 on him for a 600 point hit, and that's really, really good. So Anthony Perkins, we're in the lead, we've got a 340 bonus. You know, really we want Michael Hardy, so we would take this guy, but he's not likely to be a massive player there. Now John Mitchell, this is a guy who I really want. He's a 3-star recruit, but he's a power kicker. Now we need a good kicker, because as you saw in the last game, we really benefit from not having a good kicker. So we're going to take him, I think the full whack that we can have him for a 700 point hit. We need to see early on in the season if we're going to get back into the game to get this guy. He may well just go to Michigan. I hope that's what the M stands for. If not, we can recruit Mr. Wood. Now Randall Wood, he's a 77. He's not the worst kicker in the world, but we sort of want him. But we want to see if we can get back in the game with John Mitchell. So just check again that scholarships have been offered to these guys. Quinton Connor, free safety. We're just 160 points behind. We'll get a nice hit there. So let's put 300 points on this guy. We want Quinton to play for us. Free safety, 69. We're in the lead by a lot. We're not going to put a lot on this guy. Maybe 160. We're going to I might even just put 110 on and offer him a scholarship. Use the same amount of points. Think carefully about it. We want all these guys to be offered scholarships. Now, the corner guy. Let's offer him a scholarship first and foremost, and put 350 points on this guy. Well, actually, maybe 250. I don't know. Don't want to use too many of our points up in one go. So we have Nate Hart, who we're in the lead by wide receiver. We haven't yet offered him a scholarship, so let's do that. We would have put 170 on him, so let's put 120 on him because we would have put 170 on. We don't want to overspend. George Wilkinson, wide receiver. Now we're in the lead by loads here, so I'm only going to put on 85 points and offer him a scholarship as well. And Spencer Hill. Now we're again hugely in the lead with Spencer Hill. He's a 4-star recruit, so let's put 180 on him. Let's stay in the game with him and offer him a scholarship too. So we've offered all of our needs a scholarship. That's good idea. So let's, oops, what have I done there? I'm using the wrong button. Why am I doing that? Okay. We need to go to all positions now. So no scholarships is 9. So we need to have a look to see, you know, who do we need to be offering. So yeah, we've got John Wells. All these guys are actually quite good, so we need to maybe work our way through these guys as the next priority. He's our 8th tight end, good player, tight end worth 80. We would normally put, I think, 220 on him, so let's put 170 on him and offer him a scholarship, and that uses up some points. Tommy Coleman, 960, so let's only put 60 on him, but let's offer him a scholarship as well. And basically we want to be offering all these guys scholarships, but while we're here we may as well put on, you know, some points as well. So we're going to just offer them the points that we normally would and the scholarship. So we're going to be, you know, taking, so we're actually we're behind on this guy now. He's a cornerback. I think I'll put 180 on him, maybe 200, but probably going to just 200 and the scholarship on him as well. I'm not going to offer all of these guys scholarships this time, so I want to save my points for some of the others. So I think we'll just, I'm going to put 200 on him, try and stay just behind the game a little bit. We're going to maybe Jonathan Peoples, we're behind him as well, so we want to get back in the game on him, so we're going to use all of his points on there. Jeff Beard, we're way behind this guy. I'm not even sure if we're going to be able to justify staying in the game for these guys much longer, so I'm not going to waste a lot of points on these guys. I'm just going to put 150 on him and 150 on him and see if we can get back in the game. These guys might be ones that we have to give up on in a few weeks. So this is the guy who's interested in a lot of different points, so I'm going to offer him a contract, Donald Hendricks. And I've done it too late. I should have waited. So let's go back into here. Now we're going to see the ones who haven't yet been approached. I need to keep an eye out for Darnell. Let's go and find Darnell first. Where are you at, Darnell? Darnell. There you are, Darnell. Right, so I'm going to put 180 on Darnell. Okay, so we've got about another few hundred to go. So Dusty Goss is actually a 5-star recruit, so I'm going to have to put something on him. I'm going to put 160 on him, and that leaves us with 500 points to play with for the rest of the players. Now these are players who, you know, I don't have to spend huge amounts on this time. Jacob Brooks, we're in the lead by massive amounts on these guys. Just need to think about him just a little bit, get the 100 on him. I'm looking for someone who I'm in the lead by a lot. A punter who's 85, Willie Magnum. So I'm going to put 90 on him. Calvin Bonds, again, 5-star recruit, so I could do with putting probably a few 100 points, 110 just to get that 400 hit. We haven't got many points left to go. Defensive tackle. I would like to get him, but I'm so far behind. In Michigan, they really do sign some quality players. So we've only got Mike McIntyre, and we're well ahead on him. So 30 points on him, and I think I'm going to put the rest on Stephen Clark, who I'd like to sign. I'm going to put 100 on him, and probably the remainder on RJ Moore. So that's the way I do it. I look at my team needs first, then I look at going through the rest of the program, make sure everybody's scouted over the first few weeks. There's a few who still aren't offered scholarships. I've got 30 players left. The ones who, you know, we look like we're definitely going to get, let's just quickly run down. Dusty Goss looks like he's going to be our marquee signing at halfback, which is always good to have a good halfback. I love Brian Capps with the Vegas Wolfpack. I think he's a mint. Tyler Townsend, we want him because he's an important gap in our team. Lionel Sims, we look like we're going to get him. Scott Burke, we're going to recruit Michael Hardy, although we're in a bit of a battle for him. Jelani Pickens looks a sure in, as does John Wells. We will get John Wells, I'm pretty sure, at tight end. Tommy Coleman, we're going to probably definitely get Tommy Coleman. Jacob Brooks looks pretty sure at the minute, as well as Willie Mangum. I think he's going to be our starting punter next year as a freshman, so that's really exciting. We're in the lead with Calvin Bonds, who's an athlete, fantastic looking recruit there, 6 foot, 191, could easily be a halfback, looks really good. We've got Anthony Wade, short safety, is a team need, we're well in the lead for him. We're also in a bit of a battle with RJ Moore, who looks like he's going to commit early as a cornerback, and we've got the backup of Josh Bright. We'll get one of those guys, and they're both, roughly the same. This guy's a bit smaller, but we're trying on him. Stephen Clark, we're behind him. We might lose Stephen Clark. I don't know if we're going to be able to hold on to him. I think it's going to be a bit touch and go with him. John Mitchell, we would love to sign John Mitchell as a kicker, although I'm sure I can use Willie Mangum as a punter if needs be, but we'd love to get John Mitchell as well. But that's going to be difficult, I think. We've also got Randall Wood, who will look like we're going to be pretty close to getting. Quinton Connor, in a bit of a battle for him, although we'd love to sign him. We've recruited him pretty hard this week, and a free safety will look pretty good for Wyatt Green. Mark Leach, we're in a three-way battle with him, and we've sort of steady away at the moment. We're not going too mad on him. Johnny Peoples, looking like it's between us and another team. Worth having. He's another athlete. Always good to get them. We're in a two-way run with Josh Kaplan, tight end. We'll see how that goes. It might just run away. They might just recruit the brains out of him, and away he goes. Jeff Beard, looking very unlikely a middle linebacker. We're going to get him, unfortunately. Lineback's going to be probably next season's recruiting strategy. This season, we're looking at not getting someone in that area. Most likely, we're not going to get Jeff Beard, I don't think. And ditto for Tyler Bailey, but we've got Gosk, so we don't really need him either. In fact, I'm even tempted to remove him. We'll see if we can get back in the game for him. Nate Hart, we're ahead, but it's tough. It's going to be a three-way battle for him. George Wilkerson, we're looking good for George Wilkerson. And Spencer Hill, again, those two are in the bag. Might even be tempted to let Nate Hart go, in terms of maybe going after someone like the kicker a bit harder, or someone like that. That might be worth thinking about. Darnell Hendricks, we are in a huge three-way battle for him, but again, not too worried about him. And also Mike McIntyre, who we're really in the lead by halfback, but I'm not really that bothered about him, but he might end up being one of the better ones. So I hope you enjoyed that run through, guys. Thank you very much for watching. This is the recruiting on NCAA 14. We're going to keep, next video is going to be the game number 3. Thank you for the comments I got on the other video. That was mint and great, so I want to keep getting those, and I'll keep you up to date. Maybe in about 5 games time we'll come back to recruiting, see how I'm getting on, and we will see you guys again on the next video. So let's get this saved, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.